Fingering. Eric Andreas, your guitar sage here, and I want to show you today a really cool little technique called chicken picking. So if you are watching this video, then you probably have some idea of what chicken picking is, or you subscribe to my videos. But nonetheless, I'm going to show you this idea called chicken picking. It's very common in country music, kind of can be used in funk, but mainly it's used in country. And it's this idea of using a pick and a couple of other fingers, or just using your thumb, first, second, and third finger for the most part. This is based off of an idea of what banjo players do, where they will, of course, they're not using a pick, they're using finger picks, but they'll place their ring finger and pinky on the surface, on the drum head of the banjo, and then they'll use their thumb, first and second finger. In that combination, you can create some really cool sounds. Well, similarly on the guitar, you can do this bit, and but there's something a little bit more complicated than what we're doing on the banjo, or just a different technique, I should say. And the idea is we're not just picking the strings, but we're actually pulling the string slightly away from the guitar so that it slams against the neck. Now, it sounds very violent, but it's or possibly very exciting since we're spanking the guitar, but I promise you it's not terribly erotic, if you will. It's just basically music. But we're having some fun here with the technique, okay? So if I were to pick this note, it might sound like this. But if I were to pull the string away from the guitar and let it spank against the neck, it's going to sound like that. Big difference, right? Or it's got this brighter, more a hotter attack, if you will, or a louder attack. So we can do any combination of it, like, and you can really get it to spank, and that is the official term, spank. Okay, and so we can do a combination of picking and plucking, where we get that kind of spank sound. So like, for instance, now I'm going to play without a pick, because usually when I do this sort of thing, I'm not using a pick, but you can do any combination of either. You can have a pick. I would advise, if you're new to this technique and you're wanting to get good at it, using a pick will allow you to strum chords and that sort of thing, and then go into chicken picking right away. Obviously, if you put the pick down like I just did, then you're going to have to pick the pick up again in the middle of a song, and that can be a little bit awkward. So I don't profess to be a really good chicken picker. I got the idea, I can teach basics of it, but this is not my forte. It's not what I'm best at. But I wanted to show you this technique and tell you about some other players and stuff that you may want to follow that are great. Players like Jerry Reed, Brad Paisley, Brent Mason. These are guys in Nashville that are just amazing. Yes, Johnny Highland. Anyhow, all that to say, let's talk about this basic technique. So, with the higher strings, with the ones that you're going to be using these fingers for, you're basically kind of tucking your fingers underneath the strings, and instead of coming up like this, you're going to come out from the face of the guitar like, okay, so you could take your fingers, stick it underneath the strings, and kind of lift up and out of the guitar, but obviously you're not wanting to yank the string up to break it. You're just wanting it to slide off your finger and enough to slam against the face of the guitar. You're not going to hurt anything doing this. By the way, I'm using a Telecaster here, and Telecasters are renowned for this type of sound. They're known for this type of sound. They kind of quack. What's called the quack, and they just create this great tone. So you want to get that sound, you probably want to use at least single coil pickup. So if you're using a Strat or something like that, you could get a very similar sound, but the Tellies are just kind of known for that country sound. Okay? All right, so with the thumb, now, I'm still plucking, but I'm, again, kind of going underneath the string here and hooking it a little bit so that when I come up, I've got that sound. Bass players call this popping, and so they'll do this bit. And the difference is that we're not actually popping the string like that, and that's when you take your thumb, and this is a technique that people use on guitar. You can look this up on YouTube or anywhere. It's not something that I do very often, but there's some guys that are very, very good at it, like the Wooten brothers and that sort of thing. But basically this idea is when you take your thumb and you actually pop the string, so you're already smacking the string against the neck right off the top. And you can do combinations like that where you're doing a little bit of chicken picking and popping, okay? Now, so this top part here that I just did, that's the chicken picking part, but this part here is just popping, okay? So let's take a basic lick here, for instance. Let's put your first finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and we're just going to be playing the A and the D string, or 5 and 4. And so our lick's going to go like this. You're going to swing that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay? And then in between there we're going to throw in a cool little hammer-on part, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to hammer on 3 and 4 like this. So actually we're not hammering on number 3, we're plucking that one, we're hammering 4. So again. So you can do some cool things with muting, right hand muting here, you know, by just placing your hand right there on the bridge. Okay, right hand muting, if you need more information about that here on YouTube, just type in YourGuitarSage muting, and I've got a few videos on that to show you what to do there. Okay, so again, when we're picking with our thumb, we're really attacking the strings here. And if you can dig in a little bit, if you can, you know, get your thumb underneath there to pull up a little bit. Now, if I were to do this, say, with a pick, I'm getting quite a bit more volume out of there, and that's kind of the more proper way to do it, I should say. Now, I don't do a lot of chicken picking either because I do a lot of finger picking, a lot of acoustic type and classical type stuff, and when you have fingernails, they tend to break a lot when you're doing that sort of thing on a steel string instrument, and that's very frustrating. So even when I'm playing acoustic guitar, it does that. So you're kind of either a chicken picker where you don't have your nails long, or you're, you know, doing classical and more finger style arpeggios and that sort of thing. That's more my style. But I wanted to show you this basic technique here. A lot of different things you can do with this. You know, if you want, you can get fancy and kind of do your scales with it. So as you start getting into the higher register, you start using your fingers instead. And you can come up with some other licks if you're used to doing a blues lick like this. So I'm just doing that all with a pick right now, but if I finger picked that, it would be like this. And you can get some really cool sounds out of it. And of course, when you get the speed in there, then it sounds really cool. So that's your little primer, if you will, of chicken picking. Hopefully you like this. If you did, hit thumbs up, hit subscribe. I'm Eric Andreas, your Guitar Sage. I'm here to help you with guitar. So if you have any questions here on YouTube, hit me up, or Facebook or Twitter and all that good stuff. hit me up. I'll help you out there. Go to Unstoppable Guitar System if you want to know a lot about guitar, blues, country, rock, all that good stuff. Unstoppable Guitar System, you can get in there for $1. Make sure you sign up at YourGuitarSage.com for the free ebook. I'll send you that right away, immediately to your email box, and let you know of books as I publish them. I send them out to my mailing list for free. What? Yes, I'm serious about that. I'm Eric Andreas, your Guitar Sage. Spay and neuter your kitties and dogs. Don't trust the man. See ya.